Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Casper Network. So, all you guys already know by now, Casper is probably one of the most underrated gems. For anybody who is actually watching this right now, and if you do hold Casper, you are extremely early in the game for this layer one. This year, I keep saying this year because I feel like 2021 went by so fast. But, in 2021, layer ones really started to pop up, really started to explode in value. And I truly do believe that in 2022, we're going to see Casper really build out their strong ecosystem. I think that a lot of individuals that are still learning about Casper right now, that are, doing their research, even myself included, kind of forget the fact that this is such an early gem. It just came out last March. So we're coming up on the 1-year launch of Casper. And in that span of time, we have seen this ecosystem really explode in terms of the overall use cases, in terms of the partnerships. And honestly, I think that when we're talking about what's going to be happening this year, we're going to see the growth of crypto really start to explode at some massive numbers, and we're going to see a lot of layer ones really kind of take over at a massive rate. So, in my mind, I think that Casper is probably one of the most incredible opportunities this market has given to anybody out there who wants to get into a gem that has 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x potential written all over it. So let's just jump in and let's talk about this. But before we fully jump on in, I just want to ask you guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and I do greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, the trading volume is up almost 50%, 43.72%. We are seeing us kind of break a little bit out, nothing too crazy, hitting some resistance up here at about almost 13 cents, and we're just kind of trading sideways. Now, I've been talking to you guys about in terms of the market participation on Casper. I think that we have a lot more overall, pretty much listings still left in store for us. A lot of those top tier exchanges, for an example, we can come up here to the exchange listings. Let me just open this in a new tab. So, currently the best one that we have is Huobi at number 1 with the most amount of volume. Currently sitting at about almost, well, actually, it's not the most volume. We actually see that ZT is the most amount of volume, sitting at about 6 million. And then OKEX is actually sitting at number 2 with 4.9. And then, of course, Huobi sitting at number 3. But I do suspect that in terms of the top tier exchanges, we have 1 through 5 still left in store for us. We have a lot more listings, in store. And I think that a lot of these are going to be happening this year. I think that it's the time for us to get on some of these top tier exchanges. Gate.io is one that we're on already. And we actually have about almost $9 million in volume flowing over that. But besides that, we still have a lot of other names left in store for us. And, in terms of the growth for Casper, in terms of, the use cases that still have yet to, make their way into the scene, I think that we are going to see a lot of new exchange listings for Casper in 2022. But also, we look forward to seeing a lot of price appreciation. As you guys do see, I have, this little bit of a target set over here. This is my bare minimum target, by the way. Like $4 is my bare minimum. That's where I will be selling a lot of my Casper because that is some significant gains. Now, I'm not going to be selling my whole stack. I'll most likely be holding a lot more over. But of course, this is where I start to sell a large portion. I already have my initial investment out at this point just for a clear, overall insight on that. I usually, take my initial investment out whenever I do a 5 to 10x in terms of profit. But of course, in terms of $4, I think that is a bare minimum target. Even in fact, when we're looking at the market cap, $12.1 billion for this layer one is nothing. I always kind of compare this to, other networks out there. For example, Avalanche has been making incredible gains this year, or last year, I should say. And if we do get that market cap, we're sitting at about almost a 71x or almost $9.11 per Casper. This is what I'm talking about. Like the overall upside potential on Casper is extremely incredible. Even if we go off of Luna, because I know Luna is also very incredible, in terms of the yearly gains in 2021, we'd be sitting at about an 83x. I'm not comparing these to these other assets, like saying Casper is better or anything. I'm just saying we still have a lot of gains being made still comparing it to a lot of these other assets. Even if we get into the top 25, we're looking at some very good overall gains, sitting at about 21x or almost $2.79. So, like I said, do with that what you will. Always do your, overall, research. Take your initial investment out whenever you want. Pretty much have your own exit plan if you want as well. But we have been riding the waves. We are in a solid accumulation zone. Like I said, this entire accumulation zone, if we're looking at the current price, we're going back to prices going into August. Okay, so in my mind, I think that where we are currently, I think that we pretty much hit this bottom point on the 702 at about 10.5 cents roughly. And I think that we are looking pretty good in terms of an upside sort of trend. And the RSI is looking a little bit better today. We are almost hitting 50. I think that once we kind of break over that, we get into the point where we do see a little bit more volume flowing in. Right now, the volume is not incredible. Honestly, it's still fairly diminishing volume. So I do want to see a lot more, volume flowing in terms of us kind of pretty much breaking out. The next major target point for me is honestly just up at about 16 cents. And I know that there's still a little bit of resistance points. Let me actually change this to the horizontal line, sorry. Right now, the next major portion for us to really kind of break over is this point up here at about almost 13 cents. So, right now we're pretty much looking at those same points in time where we were looking back here, where we're waiting for this next major breakout event, and that happened on November 15th. That's pretty much what we're waiting for to happen yet again, because of the retest all the way down, which of course Bitcoin did not help. And talking about Bitcoin, we are definitely watching the Bitcoin price chart as well. I know a lot of individuals, kind of complain when I look at just the USDT chart. Trust me, I also look at the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin chart looks a little bit better. We are over the 50 RSI level. Again, volume not looking too good down here. I want to see a lot more volume. But you guys can pretty much see us breaking over that nice demand channel. This is pretty much those resistance levels that we were at, but we broke over them pretty much yesterday into today. So that's very exciting to see as well. So in terms of the price action, looks pretty good, looks pretty strong. Now, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about 2022. So obviously, a lot of individuals out there have their own opinions. I do believe that 2022 will also be huge for Casper. I think that there's going to be a lot more, ecosystem growth, as well as a lot of adoption happening for a lot of these major networks, and Casper definitely being one of them. And we do see a fully pluggable and upgradable infrastructure, plus a proactive and talented team means a constantly improving and evolving blockchain. And I do completely agree. I think that we have a lot more left in store for Casper. I think that we barely scratched the surface on Casper. And we do see here, let's look at a throwback real quick at lots of milestones that Casper Network achieved in 2021. It's such a great journey. Happy New Year, Casper community. And honestly, yeah, in 2021, like I said, remember, they launched the mainnet in March of 2021. Okay, in January, they had many partnerships already set up. In fact, they had a security mechanism audit by Trail of Bit, partnership with Metis DAO, partnership with IPWE. Then, of course, in terms of February, we've seen multiple other partnerships happen as well. And we did see the live mainnet launch in March of 2021 with the token sale, and then we had multiple other partnerships there as well. And look at all the other partnerships since then. It's been incredible. And I do think that this is just scratching the surface. I think that we are going to see a lot more happening in 2022. Okay, we've discussed many of these major, updates. In fact, we've talked about the partnership with SJM Group to promote Web3 adoption in the UAE. We've talked about many of these other partnerships and their use cases specifically, especially with even Robot Cache and stuff like that. There is so much left in store for Casper, and it's only beginning. We're so early in this, similar to even Hedera. Okay, we even see here we're barely at the beginning. Being here this early will give all involved in the Casper network great opportunities long term. NFTs, among other fundamental projects, will appear on the Casper network over the next year. Ethereum, R, Stone Age, Casper. We're in for a journey. And we even see our NFT LA is now officially happening on Casper. This is March 28th to 30th, I believe. And here are some of the speakers that have been announced. First off, we see the CEO of Casper listed there, but we also see Mark Cuban and some other incredible names here. Guys, I think we're going to see a lot more updates in terms of NFTs, in terms of a lot more use cases and partnerships and even exchange listings. I think that we're going to explode in terms of price because of a lot of these major updates that we are still seeing. And we even see here, it's definitely an underrated gem for 2022, a future-proof layer 1 blockchain with huge potential. And I do completely agree with this. We even see here, if you want a decent altcoin for your 2022 portfolio, may I suggest Casper Labs. Absolutely excellent team and built by the finest developers, originally built as Ethereum 2.0, Casper, right? So, in my mind, these layer 1s definitely have a lot in store for them in terms of growth and adoption. But I do think that Casper, barely scratching the surface here, has the potential to easily hit the top 25. And I think at the top 25, it's not going to stop there. I think that we're going to see a lot more exchange listings, which will lead to a lot more FOMO. And I think that it's going to have a similar run to other layer 1s that have done incredible overall year-to-date percentages. Yeah, we're in the 2022 now, so we do see the year-to-date percentages a little bit different. But if we go back to 2021, we know that the year-to-date percentages for a lot of those layer 1s were like 10,000 plus %, which is absolutely ridiculous. And like I said, my bare minimum price target here, okay? And I know I'm being a little bit conservative, but this is 3,043%, okay? And that's not even scratching my actual prediction at about $4.38 or that major demand zone, which is pretty much almost a 3,400%, and $7 being about 5,395%. And honestly, when we're looking back in time, could Casper reach double digits to triple digits someday? Because I do believe that we will. And we do see here previously, a liquidity wicks show $30 to $70 on multiple exchanges. And if you look at the one page, which is provided by Mega Man XRP here, but you can pretty much see the Casper economics here. You could also see the backers. You could see why. You could see the technology behind it. You could see this, centralized exchange listings, which, like I said, we have a lot more left in store. And this was updated August 21st, by the way. So a lot has happened since then. But it's so exciting to see, something like this. Like I like to be in something early, like Casper. That way, you're not too focused on the price action. Like, right now, am I excited when we hit 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents? Sure. Yeah, I'd like to see that. But am I going to, watch the chart every single day, make sure that I'm waiting for the next major price target to be met? No. In fact, I really don't care about Casper at $1, $2, $3, $4. I know that these layer 1s, especially Casper, being, compared to Ethereum a lot, because I know that we compare it to Ethereum a lot, has a lot more left in store for it. I know a lot of people in the Casper ecosystem or community compare Casper to Ethereum and say, well, look at the potential that we could be at if we do hit, Ethereum's numbers. Even in terms of the total supply, we'd still be valued at about $42.89 with the total supply in store, which is a 337x if we had Ethereum's market cap. I think that we're a far ways away from that market cap because we're so early, but is this a realistic price expectation in the future? 100%. Okay, I think that this market, crypto in general, we are so early in crypto. So it's not even the idea of being early in Casper. It's the idea of being so early in crypto in general to be pretty much proud of yourself as well. Because this technology is extremely revolutionary and it's so early in terms of what it could really be adopted into and used for. And Casper is definitely a leading name. And I think that the upside potential here is very incredible. I see it at double digits pretty soon. I would expect double digits fairly soon for Casper if the growth continues. Like I said, if we do get to $10, which I know a lot of individuals want it at $10, we'd still be only at a $30.3 billion market cap. And I know to a lot of people that might seem like a lot, if you're looking at the top 10s. But if you actually looked at the top 10s and seen where they were, at their all-time highs, I think that, $10 is fairly achievable, especially even if you were looking at ADA at its all-time high when we would pretty much be at like 150x. So overall, with that in mind, do your own research. Don't get, too caught up in the hopium of, prices. But I do think that, $10 for Casper is fairly conservative. Even in, the short, kind of long-term span of things, like, with a lot of these layer ones on the rise, I think that Casper is definitely one to keep a close eye out on. So with all that in mind, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.